long does it take to train a warrior? Unparalleled focus, years of experience, and exceptional skill. The mind has to be the one with the body to find perfect synergy. Even the fiercest of warriors, boasting many battles, can succumb to manipulation. What about someone with little drive? Someone with no focus? The enemy. There's legions of them, infesting the origin system. Endless armies designed to kill. If fiercest warriors can succumb to Jade's manipulation, mindless beasts and clones have no chance in winning. One burst swings the tide of battle, instilling chaos and confusion, turning enemies into allies, forcing them to destroy what they were meant to protect. It's a good thing she's on our side. Nyx. Nyx is one of the first frames, released with update 6, and is a crowd control warframe. Almost all of her powers revolve around lockdown. She's able to control rooms of enemies, which allows her to survive in high level content. In this video, I'll show you the build I use for Nyx, which focuses on extending her crowd control capabilities, as well as augment usage for defensive play. This is Jading Assimilation Nyx. Due to very large amounts of crowd control Nyx is capable of, on damaged condition Arcanes won't really ever proc. In this case, I use Arcanes which proc on damage dealt. I use Arcane Momentum which has a small chance to proc on critical hits and provide extra fire rate for sniper rifles. Chaos is an extremely efficient crowd control ability. You won't be spending the entirety of the mission inside Absorb or your energy regeneration is halted except for pickups. To utilize the downtime and recover energy while outside Absorb, you can utilize Zansari. Maxing out Energy Pulse will increase your energy pickups by 50%. Extending into Energizing Dash, which creates a sphere that recovers your energy, will give you 5 energy per second recovery with a 30-second duration. This costs around 2.4 million focus points and takes 10 days to unlock. With this build I focus on great power efficiency, good range with duration. Energy Siphon for aura. With more efficiency, this card becomes more effective. Cunning Drift in the Exo is for range, which will give a slight increase in crowd control capabilities. Streamline and Fleeting Expertise for power efficiency. Stretch and Overextended for high power range. Prime Continuity and Narrow-Minded for power duration. Assimilate Augment for the absorbability, which allows you to slowly walk while having absorb on, as well as use all of your weapons. Lastly, Redirection for shields for more survivability for when you do get hit. With this build your duration is very high. Pairing it up with good range allows for great crowd control. Very high efficiency allows for frequent power use as well. Since you'll be spending a lot of time in Absorb with the Assimilate Augment, which greatly reduces your movement speed, it's good to pick a weapon which has high range and no damage fall off as you can't move around quickly. For high level missions, especially defense and survival, sniper rifles work very well. This is the build I use for Vectis Prime. Serration and Split Chamber for damage. Infected Clip and Stormbringer with high voltage for corrosive. Point Strike and Vital Sense for critical stats. Lastly, Vectis Riven mod which gives damage, critical chance, and toxin damage. Any Riven which has 2 positive stats such as critical chance, critical damage, multi-shot, and elemental will be very good too. Due to 170% power efficiency, you'll be able to use your powers very frequently. The high power range will ensure you affect all the enemies even in large and open rooms, and high power duration allows to put more focus on gameplay. During missions, you have to constantly use chaos to crowd control enemies and turn them against each other. Keep in mind that lone enemies will still choose to attack you if there's no one else nearby, as well as if you're the closest target to them. Mind control enemies, however, will behave the same way that confusion or radiation procs work. Most enemies will target mind-controlled enemies, so your first ability power can be used as extra crowd control. It's also a good idea to mind control heavy units such as bombards, heavy gunners, and scorches, since those have crowd control abilities of their own or very high damage output, which will help in fights. Same goes for bursas, special corpus units, and Grineer Noxes as well. The Assimilate augment not only allows you to slowly move while having absorb on, but to use your weapons as well. This makes defense missions extremely easy to handle. Missions with extreme sortie modifiers for damage are also easier to handle, as you have plenty of time to kill enemies while inside your absorb field. With 170% efficiency, your absorb will drain around 1 energy per second. However, getting damaged by enemies will drain your energy much faster. Although you can absorb quite a lot of damage, it's important to keep track of your energy resources. Assimilate provides enough time to hack consoles in rescue missions and handle sortie-enhanced assassination missions as well. For alternative arcanes, Arcane Acceleration will add a bit of extra fire rate to rifles on critical hits, boosting your damage output. For critical based shotguns, you can use Arcane Tempo, which will increase your fire rate by up to 60%. Nyx has augments for her other powers, which provide different bonuses. Mind Freak, first ability augment that increases mind controlled units damage, scales with power strength. Even with fairly high power strength, the damage output isn't very good due to enemy armor scaling. Pacifying Bolts, second ability augment which adds confusion status to enemies which get hit by it. Redundant augment, since Chaos ability already provides more than enough crowd control. Chaos Sphere, third ability augment. It adds a sphere around your chaos cast area that shrinks over time and automatically applies the effect to enemies which enter. Considering high power efficiency, not really worth using as you can just recast chaos. The sphere is stationary and does not follow the caster as well. Nyx is a very strong crowd control frame. Excelling at especially high levels and strong enemies, she locks rooms down and turns them against each other. Assimilate augment allows for very effective play at defense and stationary objectives. This is Jading Assimilation Nyx.